So my name's Russ Olson. I farm in partnership with my son Hayden, and we farm about 2,000 acres approximately, corn and soybean, and we've been incorporating into the operation relay rye and some monocrop cereal rye. And I've been farming since 1986. In 2005, I decided to start strip tilling, and then the strip till led to no-till beans, so we strip till for corn, no-till beans, and we went down that path, and then we started incorporating cover crops probably 4 or 5 years ago, I'm going to say. It started out with just a small 50-acre little grant situation from the NRCS office, and we just broadcast some cereal rye, and we weren't happy with the results there, so then we started to drill some cereal rye and progressed from that. And the relay kind of came in about 3 years ago. Video off the internet, my son ran across, and we watched it, and we said, I think this is something we could do. So we didn't go crazy. I mean, we're doing about 50 acres and just getting our feet wet, and it's been a learning curve, and it's shown enough promise. We keep doing it, and maybe someday, I don't know if you'll ever perfect it, but because Mother Nature's always throwing you curveballs, but so that's kind of where that started from, I guess. So our relay cropping is cereal rye drilled in the fall, and because it's a winter hardy crop, and then we come in and we plant soybeans. So the rye is in 10-inch twin rows on 30-inch centers, so that leaves us a gap in between that we plant soybeans into. Then in the spring, we try to go fairly early with them to get the beans going. Probably the first thing we'll plant in the spring will be these soybeans before we plant corn or anything. We'll try and get these beans in. Population on our beans we're pretty much normal, 140,000, but we've played with VRT, population, and we've got them as low as 100. And that's worked too. It seems like on soybeans, the earlier you go, the lesser population you can get away with. Where later on, you got to go a little thicker. This year we got a 2.4 bean. First year we had a 1.7, and I think last year was a 1.9, and we got a 2.4. And I know we were tried to be persuaded to go later, clear out to a 3.0, but that variety really wasn't available to us at the time, so we went with a 2.4. First year we shaved the rye off the top of the beans with the platform, and then last year we used a row crop head, which worked really well, but a row crop head really isn't available to us this year, so this year we're going back to the platform. And the beans are a little shorter and not so bushy this year, so I think we'll get along fine with the platform due to the dry conditions we had in June. Planting date on the soybeans was April 17th, which was pretty early, but conditions were really good this spring. I mean, they were dry. We were cold, but dry, so the planting went pretty well. So our cereal rye, after we combine it, it becomes cover crop seed, and we market through Sponheim Sales and Service over by North Springs, and we just haul it over to them. They clean it, and we probably get some back for ourselves for cover crop seed. So he just charges us like a cleaning fee because it's just bushels in and out at that point. And that's the market for our cereal rye. I'd say it's still an experimental stage for us. I'm not quite confident enough yet to go a lot of acres. One thing about cereal rye, combining it is kind of touchy because we're going to be harvesting here shortly, and this is, we're mid-July, so you have a lot of humidity. And that's a real consideration for harvesting because you get a really short window during the day to harvest. It's way more touchy even than soybeans are. But when it comes down in moisture, it comes down really fast. But as the evening goes on, late in the afternoon, evening, it also picks up moisture really fast. So that's a consideration for harvesting. So I don't see myself, going to all relay because that's a kind of a problem, the humidity factor. But if I get it to where I'm more confident, yes, I plan on expanding it for sure, because it's you get the right conditions, and it's more profitable than a mono bean crop generally. But the price of beans coming up is swung that a little bit in the favor of beans again. But it's a fun thing to mess with, I guess, and we enjoy experimenting, so we're going to stay with it. Well, the major thing is in our part of the country, we're in north central Iowa. You basically, to harvest cereal rye for grain, you need to have it planted by the 1st of October. If you are drilling cereal rye way out into mid and late October, which we've gotten into that with weather conditions, I wouldn't recommend it for grain. Possibly if you get the right fall following that, you could. I'm not saying it can't work, but around here, late September is your window to get it seeded for grain.